Hi everybody, today I want to make fish biryani. Actually it would be fish and shrimp biryani. I have used two different types of fish. It is salmon and it is codfish. And I have used saffron very cruelly, I can say very generously, all over fish. If you use more saffron, the fish and the biryani will have better taste. And also, it is my recipe, so I'm going to use some herbs. I'm going to use some mint leaves, spring onion, coriander, parsley, basil leaves, and dill. I cut them in very small pieces. As you see, I have a bowl of fresh herbs, chopped ones here. So I'm going to have biryani spice on top of these fish. Also, normally I use Laziza brand, which I'm quite happy with it. So the next step is adding the spice over saffron fish. Now adding the biryani spice on it. It's mix of lots of different spice. It is cinnamon, cardamom, coriander powder. What else? Let's see what we see here. A little bit salt and some cloves. It is enough, and of course they have used chili also. So if I don't want it very spicy, I don't have more chili. And here I'm going to use some cumin on top also. Okay. Regarding cumin also, I'm quite generous. Look, it will give a very good taste to the food. So I put the pieces of fish to a big bowl, and then I add herbs on top. There are two ways to put the spice on top of the fish. As you saw, I used a tray and I spice just one side of the fish. So when I want to put it in the bowl, what do? This side that it doesn't have spice, I use a piece of fish on top that has spice already, because if I spice both sides, so I should be very careful to use a little bit less spice. But as I do, then it won't be salty or very spicy. For example, this part didn't have spice, this one has it, I put it on top, and vice versa. For example, this one needs a piece with spice like this, and for example this side has spice, I put it like this, and also a little bit vegetable on top. Herbs on top, chopped herbs on top. When I finish and I put the layers of the fish on top, then at the end I'm going to use olive oil. So after a while, so first I let it have some spice inside. The pieces of fish absorb some spice inside, and then after they are spicy enough, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to have olive oil all over, and it can stay for something like let's say 3 hours, 4 hours, or even if you have time, it can stay overnight. And the shrimp, later on, I'm going to marinate it and put it in a separate bowl, because you know the sensibility of shrimp and fish is different. So I really don't want to spoil any of item with the other ones. Okay, so we are almost done, and we leave it here. Just a little bit more herbs on top, and if you want the last layer of spice, as you see, and that's it. This one goes to fridge for a while. I have done the same with the shrimps. Actually, for shrimps, let's say scampi, I have done the same with them. Saffron, biryani spice, chopped herbs, and olive oil on top. This one also goes to the fridge to rest for 2 hours. I hope both of them, I mean fish and shrimp, they have a nice rest. I have cut some chayote and zucchini. Here we have the rice that it has been soaked in water for 2 hours. I have used bamiyan rice. Here I have a little bit curry leaves. Here I have ghee butter, the oil that it makes the food nicer. Here they are these 2 pots that I'm going to make the rice inside. I have used some saffron and ghee butter. I'm going to use a little bit salt also, because this time I want to use as tadi, bottom of the pot, I want to use eddos. So I need a little bit salt. And here is the shrimp, and here is the fish, which is marinated already. So I'm going to use these ones one by one in the bottom of the pot. It is the eddos that I have talked about it. I have cut it in, let's say, some long shapes. So I'm going to fill the bottom of the pot with this one. Potatoes and eddos. Actually, eddo is from potato family. Eddo, saffron, and salt are already on the pots. Here, because I want to make it in a big amount, I have 3 different pots. And also some ghee butter. Now we are going to start with a layer of rice. We just spread the rice equally on the bottom of the pot. I'll show you one of the pots, and then I'm going to continue the rest. So we make sure that it is good enough rice on the pot, like this. That is enough, okay? And now the next one is some vegetables, some zucchini and some chayote. And I have not cooked them or anything. And because they are very fine and very, let's say, in thin cubes, so they will cook perfectly. Okay? Now we go to shrimp. Here I'm going to spread some shrimp on top of the rice, like this, and a little bit more. Don't get surprised, yes, they are completely uncooked, but because I'm going to steam the rice for 1 hour on suitable temperature, so they would be well cooked at the end. Okay, like this. I have already had the spice on top of the shrimps. But to have a little bit better taste, I'm going to add a little bit jeera, whole jeera. It looks like this, and just a little bit because already I have had some, and also some fish biryani. Just a little bit because already we have had it. And of course, because it's Indian food, it should be a little bit spicy. Here I have my beautiful curry leaves that I had dried it before. I'm going to crush them to have better taste on the food, okay? The next layer would be a little bit rice, and then I'm going to put the fish pieces on top like this. And just notice, I will show you a little bit later, I'm not going to fill the pot, because if I fill the pot, so the shrimps and the fish pieces, they would be overcooked, and of course I don't want it happens. Okay, now we go to the fish. Here I have them marinated, beautiful and nice. One piece of codfish, one piece of salmon, and they are not cooked also, but they would be cooked and soft and nice at the end. If I wanted to fry them before, as all the other recipes they say, so they were really cooked, overcooked, and they were dry in the food. But normally when I want to make this kind of mixed dishes, I avoid cooking the meat before I make the food. Okay, that's good enough. And now we go to use a little bit of these tomatoes, cherry tomatoes that I have washed it already, and like this. And I'm going to repeat having some rice on top. Okay, all the pots are arranged. We haven't put fish on the toppest layer. The fish is in downer layers to be cooked better. Here we have the other pots, some ghee butter on top, and a little bit hot water. For the big pots, 1 glass of hot water, and for the small one, half glass of hot water. And don't forget to make the holes in the rice to have better rice. I mean, if you do that, it seems much more better. I'm roasting some almonds, cumin, whole cumin, look, some pistachio, saffron, some chili and salt. This one I'm going to decorate the fish biryani with this, and some fried onions. And that's the chicken biryani. I'm sorry, fish and shrimp biryani. And I guess today this one is my favorite. Look, nuts, fresh coriander, chilies, rice, scampi, and fish. Thank you.